So what are some credit score myths? We've heard a lot of them. Closing versus paying off an account. What's better to do? Dad, do you mind kind of breaking that down?
Well, if you close an account, then that's taking away from your utilization.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't want to close an account. Just don't use it. If you want it to be part of your utilization and it's a credit card, you may use it every 3-4 months, something like that. It'll keep it active. But if you never use it, it will close down eventually.
Yeah. Let's do this example real quick. We got Lisa. She's had her Wells Fargo card for going on 10 years. It's got an $8,000 limit. And this purple portion of the pie graph is kind of like what would you say? The amount of her credit score that comes down to this card. Her total available credit with all the cards combined is $25,000. And she spends $8,000 that month. So her utilization is 32. We were to take away that card, everything comes down that card limit amount. So now it's out of 17,000. If she still spent 8,000, her utilization is 47%. So again, people will come to us and say, should I close this card? Should I pay it off? Just pay it off and then don't use it.
Right.
The other one that we get is checking your credit score is bad. Is that a bad thing to do?
Okay. So there's a couple things to this. One is you can do a soft pull credit report. We can do that for you. That is not bad. If you're shopping for a mortgage, for example, or a car, they've changed the rules so that you can shop and it's not going to hurt your FICO score. But if you continue to shop after a month, then it will start to affect your score.
Yeah. So again, we can do a soft pull. It won't hurt your credit at all. If you have already started working with someone and say, hey, I want to get a second opinion, and you come to us at HomeQuest, we can pull your credit and it's not going to hurt if we're within that 1 month period.
Right. Correct.
So another myth that we get is married people share a credit score. I'll handle this one. Credit scores are typically they're tied to an identity, a social security number.
Correct.
When you're married, you combine everything about you for the most part, except you don't get a new social security number as a married couple. The way it works is if a married couple comes to a lender, the lender will look at both credit scores and they'll use whichever is the lower one. So you want to make sure you're not the weak link in that relationship. And hopefully these, what we've provided in Credit 101 can kind of teach you how to get your credit score higher. But married people do not share a credit score. And the last one we have is paying off a debt erases it. Going back to the 30-day, kind of the late scenario,
right?
Even if you pay off a debt, it doesn't completely erase it. It'll show on your credit score indefinitely. The late payments will, but also that credit line in general. If you paid it off and you never had a late payment, it's going to show that you at one point had to open a card and.
Right. Just recently, we had a situation where a gentleman came to us. He wanted to buy a house, wanted to get pre-qualified. He had past history of car loans, credit cards, but he hadn't used any of them in probably 6 months, a year. His FICO score was 0. But all he had to do was then activate one credit card and it would all come back. But, paying off the debt doesn't say it goes away. It still shows. It still shows good. You just have to keep it active.
Yeah.